Shalom and good day, my brothers and sisters. I want to get this news event out because I know many of you are looking for the new moon, which is the new moon of the new year of YAH, which is known as Abib. And what you see before you is a picture. And for those who are new to the channel, what the living word, or what we say is the Bible, but it is the living word. The Bible teaches us when our Father in heaven New Year is. And you can read the book of Exodus chapter 12 when it was given unto his prophet Moshe. Remember, the prophets of Yah are given the answers and the mysteries. So when you have questions, you need to refer back to his prophets of the old time, as well as of his prophets and prophetess of today. So let's get this right into it. The picture says the true new year. This is the true new year of Yah or Yahuwah or our Father in heaven. This month is to be for you the first month of the year, and that's when the Father changed. Remember, we went from the Adamic year, now we're going to the Israelite year. So that is the time we are operating now. We are operating in the Israelite year, or known as the Hebrew year. Okay, and this month is called Aviv. Aviv. Okay, corn and green ear. Okay. So let's get right into it. I may be sharing some copyright materials with you, so we need to get this out of the way. So I know many of you are asking this question now, and I want to give you some clarification. What is going on with this moon? What is going on with this moon? You're probably saying something's not adding up here. But the moon is doing what she's supposed to do as written according to the prophets. So one of the prophets writings we're going to look at is the prophet Enoch. And we're going to talk about some things, because I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is why I stress unto my brothers and sisters that you need to keep a calendar record. You need to start writing these things down, because it's not always going to be easy to know what day to start on. And I do want to say this. This is nothing for us to argue about, brothers and sisters, about what day this or that to start on. The most important thing that you understand the concept, or that you understand the idea that we are now supposed to keep our Father holy days and holy feast days, because these are the things we're going to keep in his kingdom to come, in the eternal kingdom, even in the millennium kingdom, when the Messiah reigns for 1,000 years. Remember, the prophets give you the confirmation and the answers. So then you begin to understand what the first book of John was saying unto us, that we will not love the things of this world, because those who love the things of this world becomes an enemy to Yah. Now keep in mind, just as our Father had mercy and grace upon us before we started coming into hold on, my brothers and sisters, I had to answer this message. Just like he had mercy and grace before we awakened, we must do the same with our brothers and sisters who have not awakened. Continue them to keep them in prayer, and you be a light unto them. So when they have questions, you can explain unto them why we keep these days. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So we are going to look at prophet writings to get a more explanation. What is going on with this moon? Why is that some are seeing it on March the 22nd, that was Wednesday at sundown on the heathen's calendar, and while others will see it on March the 23rd, which is Thursday, on the heathen calendar? Why is this happening? What is going on? And we have to go back to the foundation, for the foundation teaches us that these lights will give signs unto us. So what is this light, the moon, is saying unto us. Remember, our Father calendar is made up of three lights: the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth. And Mazzaroth is the Hebrew word for the 12 signs or the 12-star constellation that the world called today. Almost done, brothers and sisters. Okay. So the title of this video is The New Year of YAH, Abib, March the 22nd or March the 23rd, 2023 AD. So which one is it? Okay, so we're going to go over some details. So this will help you to make a final decision for yourself. Okay. All right, now that I got that out the way, let's scroll on down. Let's see here. So which one is it, right? Because we getting people that saw the new moon last night. And I know I couldn't see it because it was cloudy. And I'm going to tell you another reason why I didn't expect to see it. Let me see what this go down. There we go. For those who've been studying the heavens and know about this, when the moon is in its conjunction, according to man, this is dealing with science now, according to man and their scientific facts, it takes the moon, or it takes, okay, in order to see the crescent of light, or the first light that's upon the moon, that 1 to 2 or 3%, it takes 12 to 15 hours. 12 to 15 hours. For example, when we look at the moon phases for Arad Israel, okay, according to this phase of the moon, when the moon is in conjunction, means when the moon has no light upon her, they have this phase to begin at 7:23 p.m. at night, and this is after sundown. Okay, therefore, it is not enough time to. But that's right. Forgive me, brothers and sisters. So March the 22nd, yeah, this for our Israel. So that was the 21st, which is Tuesday. And it was at 7:23 p.m. So the expected date to see the new moon will be March the 22nd. That is the expected date. Okay. And forgive me, brothers. And so sometimes I cross my numbers. For some reason, I was thinking that this phase of the moon was on March the 22nd, but actually it was March the 21st. Okay. So it usually takes 12 to 15 hours for the new moon to have light upon her. Okay. So the expected date for people to see the new moon would be March the 22nd. Okay, that's the expected date. But we're going to talk a little bit more about this. Okay, make sure I'm looking at everything right. So we'll come back to that. So now we're going to the book of Enoch. Before we read Enoch, I'm in the first book of Enoch, and I'm going to read chapter 80. And sorry, y'all, multitasking here, and sometimes I had to concentrate on what I'm doing. But there's another verse I want to share with you. It's also in the first book of Enoch, chapter 74, verse 4. And it says that in certain months, the moon, okay, I'm talking about the moon now, and in certain months, she alters her settings, and in certain months, she pursues her own peculiar course. Okay, so that's something to have in your notes as well. But today we're going to look at First Enoch, chapter 80, verse 4 is our focus, but I want to read um, a little higher, okay? And I want to see how far we're going to read down. So we're going to read all of this today. All right, first Enoch chapter 80. And in those days, the angel Uriel answered and said to me, Behold, I have shown thee everything, Enoch, and I have revealed everything to thee, that thou shouldst see this sun and this moon, and the leaders of the stars of heaven, and the leaders of the stars of the heaven, and all those who turn them, their tasks and times and departures. Okay, so chapter 80, verse 2 through 8 is dealing with dealing with the perversion of nature and the heavenly bodies owing to the sin of man. Verse 2. And in the days of the sinners, the years shall be shortened, and their seed shall be tardy on their lands and fields, and all the things on earth shall alter, and they shall not appear in their time, and the rain shall be kept back, and the heavens shall withhold it. And in those times the fruits of the earth shall be backward, and shall not grow in their time, and the fruits of the trees shall be withheld in their time, and the moon shall alter her order, and shall not appear at her time. I want to read verse 4 again. This is very important. And the moon shall alter her order, and not appear at her time. Okay? Remember that's Genesis 1:14. These lights will give us a sign. Why? Because we in the days of sinners. We also in the days where the Israelites are not in their true homeland. They're still in the land of their captivities. These are signs unto you, Israelite, letting you know who you are unto the Father. Okay? Something we need to pay attention. But let us go on to read. Verse 5. And in those days the sun shall be seen, and he shall journey in the evening on the extremity of the great chariot in the west, and shall shine more brightly than accords with the order of the light. And many chiefs of the stars shall transgress the order prescribed, and these shall alter their orbits and tasks, and not appear at the seasons prescribed to them. And the whole order of the stars shall be concealed from the sinners. So it's going to be hidden from the sinners. And the thoughts of those on the earth shall err concerning them, and they shall be altered from all their ways. Yea, yes, they shall err and take them to be gods. That is Deuteronomy 20. How we see many people worshiping the angels of the heavens who was in charge of these orders, right? And make them to be gods. They begin to worship the things in heaven, which is against what the Ten Commandments and the two greatest commandments. We put all that together. If we truly love our Father, we would not put other gods before him. Okay, let us keep going. And evil shall be multiplied upon them, and punishment shall come upon them, so as to destroy all. And that is so true. It's a good chapter to read, to go back and reflect. So now let's get into the nitty gritty to see what is going on with this moon. And this is why it's so important to keep calendar records. So let's look at first the new moon report, and we're going to come back to timeanddate.com. Now, this is the new moon report of the site called Truth of Yahuwah.org. Okay. Trying to get that thing out of the way. There we go. And they said the moon was sighted in Pennsylvania, Florida, Rhode Island, Chiapas, Mexico, Texas, Iowa, Jamaica, Mississippi, New Mexico, Arizona, Saskatchewan, if I pronounce it right, and California. Okay. So as we scroll down in their report, we have some people that was able to see it on March the 22nd at sundown. And we look on the heathen's calendar day that falls on day known as Wednesday unto them. Okay. As you see, even some people in California had the same issue as I did. There was clouds, so we was not able to see it on that day. And then others was able to see it throughout. So I'm just going to scroll on down. Again, some people was able to see it and some people was not due to cloudiness or an overcast. And this is a picture. Let's see. This picture is from Houston, Texas. Okay. Now the next picture is from California. And I'm glad they put pictures in this. Okay. So now I'm going to take this off and we're going to look at Renew Moon. Now, in the Renew Moon website, they give the Abib report, and they said their report has been positive, meaning that it's brittle enough or it has turned brown. And you can look at those pictures if you want to. Now, those who follow along with me, y'all know I look at a lot of other things. I look at formulas. I look at Enoch's writings as well as other prophet writings. I look at a lot of things because we just read what Enoch wrote unto us. Okay. Um, so there's a lot of things you have to look at to determine what day we should start on. Okay. Because you know that the Jewish follow a different formula than from the formula from Enoch, such as we follow the 358 rule. Okay. Dealing with in every 19 years, the moon will produce a 13th moon 7 times in 19 years. So that's one of the formulas we do look at, and they don't follow the same pattern that we follow. Their pattern is way different from what we follow according to Enoch's writings. So what we see here at this time on this particular website, there has been no reporting of the new moon being seen on Wednesday in Israel at this time. Okay. So by today, by default, if they have not seen it on Wednesday, then today, which is Thursday at sundown, would be their first new moon day. Okay. Now, for other sightings, we see that on March 22nd, which is Wednesday evening, we have others who have cited they have seen the new moon, and such as we see here in Oman, Saudi Arabia, Albania, Nigeria. Okay, and one thing I like about new moon, you can click on these sites like it's they let you know it comes from a secondary website. But before we do that, let us read this report. It says the first report for the first new moon of the year came from the region of Oman on Wednesday evening, March the 22nd, followed by Saudi Arabia and points westward. Then they go on to say Israel based observers are not indicating any positive sighting using the naked eye, only with visual aids. This will make the following evening, March the 23rd, by default, the first day of the month for those using this method. Okay, so let's go here. And usually it would take you to their secondary site or where they got this information from. Let me see here. There we go. And there a list of the people who was able to see the moon sighting on, let's see here, on March the 22nd, Wednesday. So we have one here, that's Albania. You have one in Chile, okay, and etc. Okay. Now let's go back to the moon phases on timeofday.com. Now, the reason why we take a look at the results of Israel, according to when everything was in perfection, before the fall of our foreparents, Adam and Eve, um, it began in the land of Israel. Okay, remember those holy borders, because within those holy borders, we have the land of Israel. Okay, another way people may know it as the land of the Canaanites or the land of the Palestinians. That's what they mentioned today. But anyway, we start there. We look at those results and we compare it to the results we're around. So as we see what is happening, that many countries were around is seeing the new moon before Israel. Now, as for myself, there are other parts in the countries that we have not seen it because of the cloudiness or overcast. Excuse me. So when we look at the phase of this conjunction, when the moon has no light upon her, the prophet says that when the moon has no light upon her, it is the end of the month. Okay? So it started on March the 21st, which is on the heathen day known as Tuesday, at 7:23 p.m. And this is dealing with Arad Israel. Arad Israel. So according to man, um, it takes about 12 to 15 hours to see the first light upon her at sundown in the west. So the expected day should have been, and which is March 22nd. Okay. And this is why many are seeing it before others. Okay. Now, Israel, if the information is correct, they did not see it in Israel on um, Wednesday, which is March the 22nd at sundown. Then they receive today. You see how much light is upon the moon. Right now, she has 4.8% upon her. She is waxing, meaning that she's increasing in light. And the current time in Israel is 4:52 p.m. Okay, and it's on March the 23rd in the year of 2023 AD, which is Thursday. Okay, so they should be able to see it today. Okay, which is very important. Another thing we have to look at is the phase of the full moon. For those who have been keeping count of records, we know there are two solemn feasts out of the three solemn feasts. And the three solemn feasts I'm talking about is that we have Passover, which is the V14th. Then we have um, Pentecost, known as Shavuot, okay? And then we have the Feast of Tabernacle, which is Ethanim 15th day or Tishri 15th day, okay? So out of these three solemn feasts, two of them should fall on the full moon day. And the reason why I'm saying it should fall on full moon day, according to my records, there have been times where one of them didn't. But majority of the time they fall on the full moon day. Go back and look at your blood moons. Remember when we had the tetrad blood moons in the year of 2014 and 2015, where we have Passover Day, Abib 14, and we had the Feast of Tabernacle Day, known as Ethanim 15 or Tishri 15, to fall on a full moon day. Very important to know. Okay, so this is one of the things we have to look at. Even Philo writes about this. Okay, Philo definitely writes about this. Even in the Gentile records, when they was looking at the darkness that came upon the earth, they write about this too, that the Passover day falls on a full moon day. This is why that darkness that came upon the earth is a miraculous sign, because typically that does not happen on a full moon day. Okay? You do your research. All right. So when we look at the full moon, then this is dealing with Arad Israel. This phase occurs on April the 6th at 7:34 a.m. So this phase happened after sundown. So the date of the full moon day will fall on April the 5th at sundown to April the 6th at sundown. Very important to know. Very important to know. Take this time now to pause your screen, because what I'm telling you, I'm letting you know that usually Passover Day falls on a full moon day. Okay. Another thing that I looked at is, like I said, it's nothing to argue about. But if those honor their Aviv Day, the first day of Aviv, to start on March the 22nd at sundown, for your um the days of the moon from the last year, and I'm talking about from, excuse me, y'all, from the year of 2022 to 2023. When you add those numbers up, because last year we had myself, Hashura, sighting the new moon on April the 2nd at sundown on 2022 in that year. However, Israel was not able to see that new moon. So they started their new year on April the 3rd in the year of 2022. Okay? The year of 2022. So for myself, and I don't know what Hashur has so far yet, I haven't checked his records yet, but for myself, if um if people are honoring their new moon day on Wednesday, March the 22nd in the year of 2023, then their moon year, the prior moon year, would have 354 days, which is fine because that's most time what we see. Okay. Now, those who are honoring their new moon day on March the 23rd at sundown, which is a Thursday on the heathen day, we would have 355 days in our prior moon year. And in prior moon year, I'm talking about again, is from 2022 to 2023, based on April the 2nd new moon sightings. Okay? Now, more than likely, Israel may sight their new moon on March the 23rd at sundown. So, because they didn't begin the same day with us, they will fall for 354 days in their moon cycle. Now, another thing, remember I told you the calendar is made of three lights. So you have two of the lights you need to keep up with. That's Mazzaroth and the sun. Now, in the sun circuit, because you know Mazzaroth works with the sun, so you'll know how many days in the sun, because the sun is not giving phases like the moon. So to way to figure out how many days the sun happens in this circuit, you have to look at how it rotates, or how many days it takes it rotates throughout the 12 signs. So we look at the equinox, from the spring equinox to the next equinox. So last year we cited that um, we stated that the first day of spring began on March the 20th at sundown to March the 21st in the year of 2022 AD. Okay, that is the first day of spring for last year. So this year it ended on March the 20th at sundown to March the 21st in the year of 2023 at sundown. Okay, very important to know. So when I added up the days in the sun circuit for this year, we got 366 days. Okay, 366 days. So for me, I'm going by the new moon day to be on Thursday at sundown on March the 23rd. So I have 355 days. Okay. For others who go on as their new moon day on Wednesday, which is March the 22nd, you will have 354 days in your moon circuit or in your moon year. All right. And the reason why I'm going with the March um, 23rd day as my new moon day is because Passover day of the 14th falls on a full moon day. And that's the reason why I'm going by. And also in my area, I didn't see it, due to the overcast. And that's not the main reason. But my main reason is that Passover begins on a full moon day. So as we seeing what is happening, Enoch is right that the moon is doing things that's not in her proper order. It's not appearing at her time. She's doing something weird here. And that's something very important to know or to make a note in your records. This is nothing to argue about with one another, what day you're going to keep your Passover day. But this is something to note in the records, my brothers and sisters. And I pray and hope that this video help you in what to decide to do. But the most important thing is that you keep it, that we keep this as a days of remembrance. The Messiah set the example of this, go back to the gospel and look at the example, because even in the book of Corinthians, we learned that the Messiah now is our Passover lamb. So he made it easy for a vegetarian to keep this. He makes it easy for the poor to keep this because he is our drink offering. He is the lamb offering. He is all these offerings. He is our bread. So what the Father wants us to do, he wants us to pull out our Bibles to learn about Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, from the old marriage to the renewed marriage, because they have very significant, important meanings unto us, y'all. And it will help you to understand the biblical prophecies, not only what took place with the Messiah, but it will help you to understand about the biblical prophecies that would take place with the three groups. And the three groups are the bride of Messiah, the 144,000, and the nation of Israel. Okay. It will also give you understanding of the mysteries and of the heavenly messages. Because what this all boiled down to, and the reason why we look at all these results that happen throughout the world, because now the whole world is being judged by the Father. It's no longer the country of Egypt like it was in Exodus. No, now the whole world is being judged. Okay, so we look at all these data or all this information or when the moon was sighted, because as you see, it's very important to know when she is acting out of order. It's very important to know that. Okay, we also are seeing we are in the days of sinners. we are in the last days that the prophets have been telling us about. We are that generation that's in that time. Okay? So, what I want to say unto you, when you go back to the beginning, which is Genesis, you will begin to understand the new covenant and what the Messiah did for us, Adam. Oh, yes, I'm speaking to all now, whether you are male or female, whether you are Israelite or Gentile, etc. I'm speaking to all, Adam, male and to the female. This is about being set free and to come out of captivity, coming out of darkness to light, coming from death to eternal life, being who the Creator made us to be. And what is that? Adam. When you understand who you are, when you understand that you are the son and the daughter of YAH, you are the son and daughter of God. Do you understand that Satan has no power over you? But in order for that to happen, you have to receive what you lost that was in the beginning. Go back to Genesis 6:3 and see what you lost. And that is what the Messiah restored back unto you to make you the son and daughter of God. Genesis chapter 6, verse 3. And when you understand that, do you understand why you are set free? Do you understand the physical example that the Father gave unto us about how he set the Israelite free from Pharaoh, who was the dragon? For Moshe saw the hidden one in Pharaoh. He saw that dragon. He saw that one who was the Satan. He saw that one who was the serpent, who was the dragon, known as Satan. It's not mysteries, but you got to understand these spiritual things. You got to understand what took place in the past, which is the beginning in Genesis. And if you understand that, do you understand the present? And do you understand that is yet to come? And do you understand why we keep these things as a days of remembrance? And then you will find a delight in keeping them, because the comforter of Yah will show you how to keep them, because he will lead you back to the Messiah. He says, see how the Messiah was keeping it? We keep these things now in spirit and in truth. So it is time to come out the ways of the world. It is time to embrace the world that is yet to come. Okay? For we are not lovers of this world, the world of darkness. We are the lovers of the eternal kingdom to come, and of the millennial kingdom to come. I said enough in this video, so my brothers and sisters, continue to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It is nigh, y'all. It is near, y'all. And make sure the brothers and sisters, make sure the brothers and sisters receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10, and baptize them in the water and in spirit. For the Lamb set the example of both. And if you have no one to do these things for you, then the Father made it easy. All you have to do is baptize yourself, exercise your faith with works, for the water is a second witness in the earth, and it can report back into the Father of those who have entered into the renewed marriage in the new covenant. Or should I say a new covenant, right? And the same is with the Holy Spirit baptism. The Father made that easy. He said, if you ask, seek, and knock, he will give it unto you in the name of his Son, Yahushua HaMashiach. That's easy. But he give it according to your heart, your faith, and your works. Shalom.